Jay-Z and Diddy just got exposed by Wendy Williams for being pedophiles in a recently resurfaced interview, and you are not going to believe what she had to say.
You know, what's worse? You know, hip-hop wearing skirts or hip-hop being closeted and having a plethora of kids to prove manhood that, you know, and denial of something that you shouldn't have to deny, which is your sexuality. So I hear what Jamar is saying, but we come from a very homosexual era of hip-hop as well. There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such, and now it's all come full circle. There were many situations, none of which to talk about, but there were many situations back in the day in my career, and it's all coming full circle now. So,
do you think now with people like Frank Ocean coming out of the closet, even though he's not exactly a rapper, but he definitely overlaps into the rap community? Do you think that we're gonna have a time where it's cool to be a gay rapper?
I don't know.
Wendy Williams has always been outspoken about the inner workings of Hollywood and has mentioned multiple times how Diddy is not the person people think he is. Now, after Diddy indictment and a recently surfaced video of him abusing Cassie, Wendy is again in the spotlight telling people what she believed all along. Diddy is an abuser.
At the center of the case, this 2016 video obtained by CNN that depicts Combs attacking his then-girlfriend, the singer Cassie, and then dragging her back toward a hotel room. Federal prosecutors said the video is powerful evidence of how dangerous the hip-hop mogul could be to women, part of why 2 different federal judges denied him bail.
What you gotta say now? What you gotta say now? You ain't got shit to say when you put your girl on the snap.
Unfortunately, it has also been revealed that the reason Wendy had to stop speaking out about Diddy was because of threats she received by him on live TV. Fans have noticed that during an interview with Diddy, Wendy Williams suddenly started stutturing as soon as Diddy mentioned that he had met her son. According to sources close to Wendy, this was an indirect threat by Diddy.
As the mother of a now 16-year-old.
Who I met backstage,
He did?
He's a great young man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You represent a lot.
In an exclusive interview with Daily Mail, Wendy Williams is now reacting to the allegations against Diddy. What is really weird is that I have been told by so many people, Wendy, you called it, including some people from my family who have said the same. Wendy has also reacted to the video of Cassie's assault and mentioned how Cassie is not the only woman to be abused by Diddy, and there are probably lots of other victims who haven't come out yet. You know how I feel about that? It is about time. To see this video on TV of Cassie getting pummeled, it was just horrific. But now you have to think, how many more times? How many people? How many more women? It's just so horrible. Wendy worked in Hollywood for over 13 years, interviewing some of the biggest names in the industry. She knew what was happening, and she knew everyone that Diddy wasn't alone. He was supported by other stars, making him untouchable. Just look at what Jaguar Wright had to say about Diddy's association with Jay-Z. In a recent interview with Piers Morgan, Jaguar Wright named everyone that Diddy was involved with.
You want to know why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere. Forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
There's been obviously a lot of
Cruelty-free artistry.
Right, there's been a lot of rumor mill about what has happened in the rap world. A lot of allegations that the misogyny in the lyrics clearly was based on a general misogyny towards women away from the music, and that clearly seems to have been borne out by these charges against Diddy, which if he's found guilty of all this, he's never coming out of prison. How dangerous do you think?
Thank God.
How dangerous do you think he is as a person?
I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met. A lot of people have been questioning, well, she doesn't really know him. She has no knowledge of him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil. Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected by not only Clive Davis, but Lucian Grange. He was selected to be the demon that he is, to keep the culture in line so the industry could continue to rape it for all of its precious jewels. We have too many lost. The list of lost is ridiculous, and everyone knows Diddy was selected for this job.
Jay-Z and Diddy have always supported each other from the start, and many people are now saying that the reason Jay-Z hasn't spoken out about Diddy's indictment is because of his connection to the crimes.
There are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on. That's not to say that they were necessarily even involved in any of the things that are alleged by the U.S. Attorney's Office. But if you're at that party and it turns out that that's when he set up one of these freak-off sex parties, or that it was going on in another room and you didn't know about it, there's a good chance that you're going to be called by the U.S. Attorney's Office. And certainly if you were involved, you would get a call, because they're going to want to know everything you want to know, and may even want you to be a witness. I just think, we're just starting to scratch the surface of what this case, this case is going to touch and involve. And the feds have said that this remains an open investigation. There could be more charges for Diddy. There could be more charges for other people involved. And usually the way this works is once they find out other people are involved or were witnesses, they bring them in and they sort of lean on them, and it's sort of like, you're going to cooperate with us, or there's a possibility that you could face charges. So this is going to be a slow developing a case here, because we're just getting started, and I don't see how this trial begins anytime before next year.
There are even rumors that Jay-Z and Diddy were involved in the murder of Aliyah, one of music's most promising stars, who died on August 25, 2001, after her private jet crashed in the Bahamas, just minutes after takeoff. At the time of her death, it was slowly coming to light that Aliyah and Jay-Z were involved in a relationship when Jay-Z was 29 and Aliyah was 20. Interestingly, there were even rumors that Aliyah was secretly married to R. Kelly, and her death was actually a murder orchestrated by Hollywood elites.
When he did the record with Jay, that's why that was almost like one of the things where I was just like, he's out of here, Jay. I just let it go, because I couldn't believe he did a project with her, with R. Kelly, knowing that he had raped my girl.
Other celebrities have also started to speak out about what went down in Diddy's parties, and how Diddy used to take advantage of women after them and locking the doors.
They just, so if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat? You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning?
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
The most shocking news, however, has to come from Freddie P., who in an interview on Art of Dialogue reacted to the allegations against Diddy and said that he saw Diddy engaging in suspicious behavior with his stepson. Yes, you heard that right. Diddy was allegedly involved in grooming his own stepson.
Why were you so infatuated with a child that wasn't yours? Were you grooming that little boy? I don't even want to start those conversations because that's not your child. You know what I'm saying? And for you to keep him that close, it's like you kept him that close because he might got your secrets because he's not your child. So if he's not your child and you that type of person with that type of character, you don't mind actually doing it to him when he finally reaches a certain age because he's not yours. And you know in your mind he's not yours. And now you keep him real close to you. You make sure he don't go to his daddy. Why? You make sure he's separated with him and you provide him with everything he wants. Why? You got one of them little Michael Jackson secrets? He got one of them secrets that he can't tell nobody because his legacy, I mean, his manhood gonna be, and not only that, his brother don't gonna look at him crazy. Only Puffy know, only God and Puffy.
About Quincy, right?
I don't know. All I'm gonna say is, I don't know.
I'll be sure, son.
All I'm gonna say is, who's infatuated with another man's son now, like that? Like you, that seemed like grooming to me. I got, oh, that's his daughter's brothers. Get the f out of here.
This behavior, while extremely horrifying, is perfectly in line with what some other celebrities have been saying about Diddy. Diddy has been grooming and abusing minors for years, and that's why Wendy was so scared when Diddy told her that he had met her son. Gene Deal, Diddy's ex-bodyguard, has also corroborated these allegations and spoken out multiple times, how everyone in the industry knew that Diddy was involved with minors.
You got people in the industry that's been saying for years, this man is having sex with underage. So now the federal government is looking at that like, yo, when is somebody gonna come forward? We got this information, this alleged information, but nobody's willing to come forward. Then they go on and say, yo, Shakur Stewart mysteriously dead. Supposed to be a self-inflicted wound. Person that had everything going for him in their life. Kim Porter, dead. Somebody's car gets blown up. This guy is walking around threatening other actors, people. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop him. He lucky that God given him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive. Didn't have to go to hell and face that. He got a chance to repent now. Change his life.
You mentioned minors, you know, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of like suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and you know, they're making a lot of allegations.
Same way they made allegations about Usher. When Usher was younger.
I mean, do you think that there's any credibility to these allegations?
When there's smoke, there's fire.
Why did no one come forward if it was clear that Diddy was involved in illegal activities? Well, according to Damian Williams, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Diddy had recordings of all of his victims and used these videos to pressurize his victims. If someone did come forward, Diddy would silence them like he silenced Aliyah.
As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics such as ketamine, ecstasy, and G, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse.
Recently, a clip has also come forward where Diddy is telling Justin Bieber on live TV to not tell anyone about the things they did together, and if that's not suspicious, I don't know what is.
Got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
With Diddy now in jail, what do you think will happen next? Will Jay-Z testify against Puff to gain immunity? Or will he try to stay away from the entire situation and keep himself safe? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.